So ropz is one of the best riflers in the world, and while some may criticize his passive playstyle, this playstyle can really come into its own in certain positions. One of these positions is pit on Inferno. So today we'll be taking a look at how ropz plays this key position on the map and how you can learn to frag out just like him. So pit is an interesting position because while you will actually be playing pit pretty often, it's probably more appropriate to call this position the A site anchor, since there are a lot more options available to you than it initially seems. One of these options is boiler. This is a favorite position for ropz, and he can gain a ton of impact playing in boiler and around the apartment. Now if you want to play in the boiler, typically you will want to throw this balcony molotov. Now to throw this molotov, you just need to jump on top of this barrel at short and then aim at this spot on the window and jump through. This is going to land on the balcony, denying the T side from accessing apartments through window room. This not only slows down the T side, but also gives you some space in apartments to make some plays. In this round, for example, ropz is going to throw the balcony molotov and then he's going to make his way into boiler. Now, because he doesn't actually notice any presence from the T side from second middle, he is going to push into the window room here to get information. This allows him to get a free kill in middle and eventually a 4k to end the round. ropz makes this play because the T side did not throw the default boiler molotov from second mid. Now, since this molotov is incredibly common to throw from second mid and basically occurs every single round unless the T side isn't in second mid, ropz is essentially going to assume that, there might not actually be any T's in second mid here, and with this kind of information, you can basically just win the round for your team, since with no T's in second mid, they're probably going to go B, and your team can actually stack the site before the execute comes through. Sometimes ropz will also just sit in the boiler, and this can be a pretty sick off angle to catch anyone off coming from the other side of apps. This is especially difficult for the T side to clear, since they don't see the CTs before the CTs see them. So this position allows you to get a lot of free kills, and it also allows you to listen out for information from middle and second mid, so you can hear if the T side is going towards A or if they're just running back towards banana, and this gives you a lot of information that is crucial in winning the round. Now obviously one of the main positions you will be playing in the late round is big pit. This is an extremely powerful position for defending apps and short. Your main objective in the pit is to buy time for your team to support you, and there are a few ways that you can do this, but one of the main things you need to effectively play the pit position is a smoke. The main way that the T side will be able to counter the pit position is by molotoving the pit, and by keeping a smoke while playing the big pit, you can use the smoke to extinguish the molotov and effectively stay alive. The great thing about this smoke as well is that you can still take fights at both short and apartments where you get a one-way with the smoke. Normally, you want to keep the smoke around until you know for certain that the T side is attacking your site, and even if the T side doesn't molotov the pit, you can still use this smoke to get that lovely little one-way on top of the bike or to the right of the smoke. Now, during the early round, there are a couple of positions that you can take, but one of the positions that ropz loves to play, and one that I also highly recommend, is this position just behind the wall in big pit. This position gives you a significant advantage onto any players lurking out of the apartment, as you will always see them first. You are also safe from any T's coming up short side, since you are able to get behind cover super easily if you get blinded at all, so definitely try this position if you're just chilling in the big pit waiting for the T's to come towards you. In the early round, ropz will often play at the end of holes. There are a couple of things that you can do in here, and some rounds, if ropz has a smoke, he will just simply smoke deep holes and prepare to spam the window room. In this round here, you can see that he doesn't find any damage, but if I place a bot into this room and spam this exact same position, you can see how effective this can be, as the damage through wallbanging this room is very, very high, so you can get a lot of damage without using too many bullets. Other times as well, ropz will just simply sit at the left side of holes holding this specific angle. This can actually catch a lot of people off guard, as they would normally expect someone to be playing on the left side as opposed to this other side that ropz is playing when you clear this position, so this is a nice position to throw in every now and again to catch someone off guard. Now, if you want to get a little bit crazy, get a little bit more aggressive, you can try this play from ropz where he runs through boiler through to freezer at the start of the round to try and get an early frag on anyone defaulting towards T apps. Now, this is the fastest way to get to this position, and while you will normally take a little bit of damage from the boiler molotov, you will often catch a player off guard using this specific aggressive play. Notice as well, when ropz crosses the window room that he looks downwards, this makes him a lot harder to see from bottom second mid, as the player model actually becomes a little bit shorter. The final position that I will cover is playing from balcony. Now, this is a very good option, especially if you don't have a great weapon to defend the A site with. So let's say you have an MP9 9 or a pistol, this position allows you to take close range fights where these types of weapons can really shine. So when you are playing the balcony, the main things that you need to be concerned about is an apartments player lurking out the balcony or an AXX with some kind of a pop flash to get some players out of the halls. The way that ropz plays this position allows him to deal with both scenarios. Typically, ropz is going to be playing this position by holding this off angle on the left side of the balcony. This allows him to get a free kill on the lurker, as they will have to clear the site at the same time as they come into ropz's crosshair. In this next example, notice how ropz will occasionally play anti-flash while also checking for the halls lurker. This is exactly how you should play, especially if the other team is using a significant amount of utility. He wants to be prepared for both scenarios, and while on the balcony as well, it's okay to use your smoke to block off this position, as you're not really going to use it for anything else anyways, but it also allows you to just focus on the short side, and the T sides coming out of apps will have a significant disadvantage trying to fight you on the balcony. Now, there are a couple of other positions you can play as the A side anchor. For example, ropz loves to play in the graveyard sometimes, and this position works really well to counter the T side on an eco round or a low buy round, or if you just want to catch them off guard with a different position. The mini pit is also a great position to play, especially if you don't have a smoke to use in the big pit, or you just want to play a crossfire with your teammate on the A side. Ultimately, you just want to be unpredictable as the pit player. This is why I call this position the A site anchor, because if you are playing big pit every single round, it's very easy to read what you're going to do. But if you play like ropz and remain active in the halls while also being able to buy a good amount of time by playing pit or graveyard or balcony, you can become very difficult to deal with from the T side, and I guarantee you will be a massive threat to anyone you play on this side of the map. So that's the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Peace out.